debate. NBC's chief White House correspondent Hallie Jackson is on the Hill with that part of the story this morning. Hallie, good morning to you.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. That school safety discussion will continue today. A White House official telling me the president is set to meet again with family members of those affected by gun violence. And it comes as he is tweeting now about that discussion in the West Wing. You mentioned the president saying that many ideas, some good and some not so good, emerged from those talks. That talk, by the way, stunned lawmakers in both parties, had the NRA calling it good TV but bad policy, and left many doubtful that any sweeping changes could actually get done in Congress. And now, as yet another business weighs in on all this, it's becoming clear that most of the action in the gun debate at this moment is less about the political world and more about the private sector. This morning, the biggest moves to stop gun violence aren't coming from Capitol Hill, but corporate America and companies like Walmart. The world's biggest business now says it will not sell any gun to anyone under the age of 21. The surprise announcement drawing opposition overnight from the NRA.
The people that it's going to affect are the 19-year-old law-abiding American who just wants to go and deer hunt, or the person who maybe wants to do a three-gun competition with hopes of competing. We're punishing law-abiding Americans.
Walmart stopped selling guns similar to the AR-15 a few years ago, but now it will also end sales of toy guns and BB guns that look like assault-style rifles. That move coming hours after a similar policy pivot from Dick's Sporting Goods. No assault-style rifles, and no one under 21 allowed to purchase a gun in the aftermath of the Parkland school shooting. Dick's CEO Edward Stack with NBC's Kate Snow.
It's a big decision to make as a corporation. Why?
If these kids can be brave enough to do this, then we should be brave enough to make a stand ourselves.
President Trump agrees about raising the minimum age to buy semi-automatics, even, he says, if it pits him against the NRA.
So good afternoon.
He made that clear in an hour-long televised meeting with lawmakers.
It doesn't make sense that I have to wait till I'm 21 to get a handgun, but I can get this weapon at 18. I don't know. So I was just curious as to what you did in your bill.
We didn't address it, Mr. President.
Why? Because you're afraid of the NRA, right?
The president, at times, offering olive branches.
I see some folks that don't say nice things about me, and that's okay. Because if you turn that into this energy, I'll love you.
And at times going further than even some Democrats, like when it comes to confiscating firearms from those deemed a danger to society.
Take the guns first, go through due process second.
But despite the president's promises, skepticism still from Democrats.
If he's such a good deal maker, then go out and find 10 or 15 Republicans who will support it.
And from Republicans.
I wouldn't confuse what you said with what can actually pass.
Now listen, we have seen this movie before, remember? Think about that immigration meeting that happened back in January where it seemed like the president wanted something bipartisan to come out of it, but ultimately nothing really ever did. That due process comment you heard him make, by the way, is drawing a lot of heat from inside the GOP this morning. Listen to this blistering statement from Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse. He says, we're not ditching any constitutional protections simply because the last person the president talked to today didn't like them. Certainly something to watch.